She said, now he said. Hello, my fram. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original. Oh, shoot. I just ate. Realness. Hello, my fram. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything. It ends with us. It doesn't. Saga. A few days ago, I told you that sexual harassment accuser Blake Lively filed a motion to be dismissed from the lawsuit against her by Jed Wallace in Texas. He is the online social media guru that allegedly helped to manipulate public perception against her. Oh! In the soon-to-be 50-year-old's motion, she spilled some private health information about Jed Wallace, letting the world know that he suffered a life-threatening health incident as a result of her and being served. Ironic, given the fact that the Nepo baby fought so hard for an extra protective order in New York and that case because she was worried about her health information leaking. Well, now we're hearing from Jed Wallace. He has filed his motion to be dismissed from her lawsuit. Most of it is fairly typical stuff. This was not written by Brian Friedman. They claim that New York law does not apply in Texas. They claim that there's no jurisdiction, la 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 la. However, there are some very interesting things in this motion to dismiss. They allege that Harvey Weinstein's big fan failed to provide specifics as to any wrongdoing by Jed Wallace. Her first amended complaint only mentions that Justin Baldoni's crisis PR expert hired Mr. Wallace and Street Relations, his company, to design and implement a social combat plan. Okay. How is that illegal? They point out that this was an allegation made on information and belief, and that this is the type of conclusory allegation based only on information and belief that are not sufficient to provide factual support. Meaning, Blake No Receipts Lively has no receipts. Queen of hearsay. Additionally, they claim that Lively has her general allegations on his conduct all wrong. Wallace or Street, his company, did not post anything on social media on behalf of the Wayfarer parties, or about Lively, Reynolds, It Ends With Us, or any of Lively's or Reynolds' businesses. They are going on the record stating that Jed Wallace and his company didn't direct or ask anyone to post anything about the same. They didn't publish, directly or indirectly, any information or content, negative or otherwise, regarding Lively. Team Delulu is going to have a really hard time proving exactly what he did, even if they depose him, because what did he do? What did he do? Pinocchio did mention in her first amended complaint, as specifically as she could without getting into specifics, that Wallace and his company were, quote, seeding, manipulating, and advancing disparaging content on social media platforms and internet chat forums. Seeding, manipulating, advancing, disparaging content. But that's not true, says Jed Wallace. Plus, Wallace specifically forswears that a social combat or social manipulation plan is not a service he provided related to anything in this case. Blah, blah, blah. Most of the Woody Allen apologists' first amended complaint focuses on Baldoni's crisis PR expert, Melissa Nathan, and his publicist, Jen Abel. We know all the back and forth chatter that they engaged in, that she got the receipts to because of Baldoni's former publicist, and that's another legal headache and lawsuit. Quote, whatever Lively says about Nathan or Abel, what she does not say is that Wallace made any particular post, liked, or otherwise boosted any story or post, or really explain how Wallace joined in on the alleged conspiracy to destroy her. That is because if it happened, which Wallace cannot deny it because he was not there, but again he doubts, Wallace declares it did not involve Wallace. As Wallace explained in detail, his recommendation was to do nothing on social media because Baldoni was already organically crushing it on Reddit. Wouldn't it be wild if they really did nothing? I mean, everything happened organically, or most everything. This trial, when it starts in March of next year, is gonna be such a cluster because there's so many charges and blah, blah, blah. Interesting also, in Lively's amended complaint, Lively posts a chart showing online sentiment began to turn negative in July, 2 weeks before Lively alleges Wallace was hired. Wallace declared that he was hired in August of 2024. But this is my favorite part of Jed Wallace's motion to be dismissed from the shampoo company owner's lawsuit against him. Beyond being listed as parties, the Wallace parties are barely mentioned in Lively's 141-page, 482-paragraph, 5 attached exhibits amended complaint. If this were a Hollywood movie, the critics would deem the script overwritten, and the peripheral characters, Wallace and Street, his company, underdeveloped and therefore cut from the film. Of course, no one likes to be described as a bit player or an afterthought, but the Wallace parties will get over it because this lack of attention necessarily leads to the conclusion that there is no adequate factual predicate for this court's exercise of jurisdiction or venue, and the case as to them should be dismissed without prejudice. We predict the Wallace parties and the critics would like that. A cleaner storyline, and sadly for some, less attorney's fees. So, everything that fake Lively alleged Jed Wallace did, he claims he didn't. And she's got no proof that he did. This seems like a no-brainer to me, but obviously the judge has not ruled yet. As soon as we get a decision, I will let you know. Thoughts on everything that we have learned now? Let's discuss. Let's have a kiki. I want to have a kiki in the comments.